Okay guys, welcome to Easy as Maths. Today we are going to be going through word problems on linear equations. I'm going to show you how to turn real life situations into simple equations and solve them using just one variable. Okay, so let's go. Problem 1 says Tim is 5 years older than his sister. Their total age is 27. How old is Tim? So let's solve. So the first thing we are going to do when solving a linear equation is to name the variable we are looking for a letter. It could be x, it could be y, it could be z, whatever it is you choose. So for this question, they said Tim is 5 years older than his sister. Their total age is 27. How old is Tim? So Tim is the unknown. So let's name the unknown a letter. Let's call it x. So let Tim's age equals x. So now that we've named the variable we are looking for a letter, we are going to find a way to get a linear equation from the information we are given. So let's continue. So from here we see that it said that Tim is 5 years older than his sister. So that means Tim's sister's age will be Tim's age minus 5 because he's 5 years older. So let Tim's sister's age be equals to, like we said, he's older, so Tim's age minus 5. So now let's get an expression for that. Their total age is 27. Their total age is 27. So that means if we add Tim's age and we add Tim's sister's age, it's going to give us 27. So let's do that. So x plus x minus 5 is equals to 27. So now we have a simple linear equation which we can solve from here. So let's open the bracket x. Because we are adding, plus times x will be plus x, plus times negative 5 will also be negative 5 is equals to 27. From here, we could add these two x together, which will give us x plus x. 2x minus 5 is equals to 27. So from here we could add 5 to both sides. 2x minus 5 plus 5 is equal to 27 plus 5. So that's going to leave us with 2x is equals to 27 plus 5 is equals to 32. So from here we need x alone, which is Tim's age. So let's divide both sides by 2, divided by 2, divided by 2. So that's going to leave us with 2 goes here, leaving us with x is equals to 32 divided by 2. This is 1. This is 1. 16. X is equals to 16. So remember they said how old is Tim, and we already named Tim's age x. So if x is equals to 16, then Tim's age is equals to 16. So now let's move on to the next question. Okay, so question 2 says, Mark will be twice as old in 10 years. How old is he now? Okay, so following this step, so we need to know what exactly we are looking for. It's asking how old is he now. So the variable we are looking for is Mark's present age. So we could call Mark's, so let Mark's present age be equals to x. So now let's get our linear equation from the information we're given. So it says Mark will be twice as old in 10 years. Mark will be twice as old in 10 years. In 10 years, Mark's age generally in 10 years is equals to x, which is his present age, plus 10. But the information also gave us that this will also be equals to twice his age. So is also going to be equals to 2 times x. So our linear equation here would be x plus 10 is equals to 2x. Okay, we have x plus 10 is equals to 2x. We could solve this by getting all the x together. So we could subtract x from both sides, which is going to give us x minus x plus 10 is equals to 2x minus x. So that's going to leave us with 10 is equals to x. So that means Mark's present age is equals to 10 years. Okay, you could see by doing a quick check that if you multiply 2 times 10 is going to give us 20 years, and 10 added to 10 years is also going to give us 20 years. So that's the way we could do a check to know if our answer is correct. So basically, the steps in solving word problems in linear equation is to step 1, find out the variable that you are looking for. Name it a letter, x, it could be y, and then use the information you are given to get the linear equation. Once you get the linear equation, then you can solve it using the basic linear equation principles. If you want to know more about how to solve linear equations, go check out my last videos where I broke down the different kinds of linear equation and how to tackle them. Okay, so now let's move on to the next problem. So let's see how math shows up when you are shopping or budgeting. Problem 3 says you buy 2 books and a pen for $34. Each book costs $12. How much is the pen? So, following the procedures for word problems, we can see that they are asking for the price of the pen. So we could write, let the price of the pen equals to X dollars. Okay, so now let's see the information we're given so we could get our linear equation from here. So it says we bought 2 books and a pen for $34. Okay, and then each book costs $12. Okay, so if each book costs $12 and we bought 2 books, so price of books is going to be equals to 2 times $12, which would give us $24 for the books. Okay, good. Okay, so we know that the price of the pen is X dollars, and then the price of the books, the 2 books we bought, is $24, and the cost of both the 2 books and the pen is $34. So we could get our linear equation by adding X, which is the price of the pen, which we don't know, plus 24, which is the price of the 2 books, is going to be equals to 34. So now we have our basic linear equation where we could get the value of x by subtracting 24 from both sides. So that's going to give us x plus 24 minus 24 is equals to 34 minus 24. And that's going to leave us with x is equals to 10. Okay, so we could say the price of the pen is equals to $10. Okay, so guys, for problem 4, you could pause the video and try to tackle this problem by yourself. following the steps which we have learned so far. So for the question, it goes, a pencil costs X dollars. You buy 5 pencils and get $2 change from a $10 bill. What is the price of one pencil? Okay, so for this question, they gave us the cost of a pencil as X dollars, and they want us to find what X is. So from this question, we know that a pencil is equals to X dollars, and we got 5 pencils. So 5 pencils would be 5 times X, which is going to be equals to 5X dollars. Okay, and from a $10 bill, we got a $2 change. That means if you add the amount we spent for the 5 pencils and the change, which is $10, that's going to give us 10. So from this information, we could get our linear equation where we know that 5x, which is the price of 5 pencils, plus our $2 change would give us $10. So now we've gotten our linear equation, 5x plus 2 is equals to 10. We could solve by subtracting 2 from both sides. That's going to leave us with 5x is equals to 10 minus 2, which would give 5x is equals to 8. Then we can divide both sides by 5, which is going to leave us with x is equals to 1.6. So a pencil costs $1.60. Okay, so let's do a quick recap on this question. So the question says a pencil costs X dollars. You buy 5 pencils and get a $2 change from a $10 bill. What is the price of one pencil? So when we go shopping in general, the amount we spent plus our change is supposed to be equals to the amount we first started with. So for this question, we bought 5 pencils. However, the price 5 pencils was. When we add the total price of the 5 pencils plus our change, which was $2, it has to be equals to $10, which is the amount we started with. So for this case, when we did that, we got our linear equation as 5x plus 2 is equals to 10. And solving the linear equation, we found that each pencil costs $1.60. Okay guys, so problem 5 goes, you walk 15 kilometers at 6 kilometers per hour. How long did it take? Okay, so this is on speed, distance, and time questions. So we know that the basic formula is that speed is equals to distance over time. So in other words, distance is also equals to speed times time. So let's use this information to solve this question. So it says you walk 18 kilometers at 6 kilometers per hour. How long did it take? So that means every hour you walked 6 kilometers. So for this question, we are looking for the time. How long did it take? So we could say let time it took be equals to x. Okay, so the time it took to walk 18 kilometers is equals to x, and we know that we walk 6 kilometers per hour. So that means 6 times x is equals to 18 kilometers. So 6x is equals to 18. That's our linear equation. We could divide both sides by 6, which is the opposite of multiplication. We divide both sides by 6, and that's going to leave us with x is equals to 3. So it took 3 hours to walk 18 kilometers. So that means the first hour was 6 kilometers, the second hour was 12 kilometers, and then the third hour was 18 kilometers. If we do a quick check. Okay, so let's try a similar question. So for this question, we have a car moves 60 kilometers per hour. How long to travel 240 kilometers? So you could see that this question is kind of similar to the last one we solved. So you could pause this and try and solve it by yourself. So let's move this to this side. Okay, have some question. Okay, let's go. So this question says a car moves at 60 kilometers per hour. How long? How long? What does it tell us? That what we are looking for is the time. So let's the time equals x. Okay. So we know that the distance traveled is going to be the speed. So how fast you go per hour multiplied by how many hours you go. So the car moves at a speed of 60 kilometers per hour. It travels for 240 kilometers. So that means we know that 60 multiplied by the total hours it traveled, which we don't know, is going to be equals to 250 kilometers. So our equation would be 60x is equals to 240. So from here, we can get the value of x by dividing both sides by 60 to get x alone, which is going to give us x is equals to 4. So the car traveled for 4 hours. So I guess so far we could see how important linear equations is in our daily life. Let's move on to the next question. So for this question, it says that the sum of 3 consecutive numbers is 60. What are the numbers? Okay, so this is a kind of different problem where we are dealing with sort of logic. So sum of 3 consecutive numbers. So what do you know about consecutive numbers in the real numbers on a number line? So we know that each number coming after anyone is going to be plus 1. For the set of real numbers, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So we can see that each number has 1 being added to the previous number. And consecutive numbers are numbers that follow each other. So for example, 1, 2, 3 are consecutive numbers. 2, 3, 4 are consecutive numbers. 4, 5, 6 are consecutive numbers. So the sum of 3 consecutive numbers are 60. What are the numbers? So for this case, we can't give a separate letter for each of the numbers. So how do we solve this? So we could do this by saying, let the first number be x. Okay, so if the first number is x, so we could say that the second number since it's consecutive, is going to be x plus 1. So if the second number is x plus 1, and we know that they are consecutive numbers, so what will the third number be? So the third number, if you guess right, is going to be the second number plus 1. And we know that the second number is x plus 1. So we have to add 1 also. That's going to be x plus 2. So now it says that the sum of the 3 consecutive numbers is equals to 60. So that means if we add all these numbers together, so if we add plus x plus 1 plus x plus 2 is going to give us 60. So we could first put all the x's together. So let's rearrange this. X plus x plus x plus 1 plus 2 is equals to 60. Okay, so we can add the x together. 3x plus 3 is equals to 60. Okay, so let's move this. So we have 3x plus 3 is equals to 60. So from here we can subtract 3 from both sides, leaving 3x alone. That's going to give us 3x is going to be equals to 60 minus 3. That's going to leave us with 3x is equals to 60 minus 3, which is 57. Here we can divide both sides by 3. So x is equals to 57 divided by 3, which is 19. So they ask, what are the numbers? So we know the first number is x, which is 19. The second number is x plus 1, which is 19 plus 1, which is 20. And then the third number is going to be 19 plus 2, which is 21, are the consecutive numbers. And if you add 19 plus 20 plus 21, is going to give us 60. So what problems on linear equations you can see is not hard. The first step is just to figure out what you are looking for, name that variable in letter, use the information that we were given to get the linear equation, and then we solve it like how we solve normal linear equations. Okay, so we're almost done. Let's solve the last question together. Okay, so the last problem goes, a tank had 80 liters of water. It leaks X liters every hour. After 5 hours, 20 liters remain. Find X. So this question feels very similar to the one of buying and selling, where I said if you go to a shop, for example, and you have $10 bill and you buy something, the amount of money that you spent plus your change is going to be equal to the money you started with initially. So for this question, let's take a tank of 80 liters of water as the $10 bill. And then we said it leaks X liters every hour. So every hour, X liters goes. So after 5 hours, it's going to leak 5 times X, which will be 5X. Okay, so now it has 20 liters remaining. 20 liters remain. So 5x, which has leaked out, plus the remaining liters of water is going to be equals to the amount of water the tank started with. So in this case, 5x plus 20 is going to be equals to 80. So we've gotten our linear equation. So we could solve from here by subtracting 20 from both sides. 5x is going to be equals to 80 minus 20, which is going to leave us with 5x is equals to 60. So from here, we could divide both sides by 5. which will give us x is equals to 12. So it leaks 12 liters every hour. Okay, so guys, we've gotten to the end of today's video, which is word problems on linear equations. I believe with this couple of exercises, you could be able to solve some common word problems that would involve linear equations. So if you want more of these videos and you have any videos you would like me to make, leave it down in the comment section. I'll be checking. Remember to like, share and subscribe, and also turn on the notification bell if you want to be notified each time I post a new video. Thank you for watching.